everybody. Good morning. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. Big day today. Holy moly, guacamole. This is it. This is it. Wake up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Wake up. Wake up. Get online. Let's go. Everybody. Everybody. Time to wake up. Time to get online. Time to jump in here. We got to save fishing, gang. Everybody watching all around the world, around the United States, wake up. It's time. We got to save fishing. It's up to us. No one else cares. We the people. We got to get involved. The QR code's at the bottom of the screen. I need every single one of you to get online here. The meeting's going to start in 10 minutes. Gang, I don't care if you're going to work, if you're flying up to outer space to be one of the first people in outer space. I don't care if you're in Australia, New Zealand, Texas, Florida. We all need to be involved. We all need to get on this show. We all need to be on this Zoom meeting. Right there on the bottom of the screen, the QR code. This is one of the most important days in the history of California. They are on a mission to close down fishing, and they're doing it systematically, one fish at a time, and they're going to take away the fish that built California. They're going to take away the barred sand bass. If we don't get involved and we don't remove our heads from our butts and we don't get on this Zoom meeting, gang, this is an emergency at every level. You all need to help us save fishing in the state of California. It's up to us, we the people. I'm going to be on here throughout the meeting trying to get you guys all to go on the meeting. We're only going to have seconds when they tell us to raise our hand for this meeting. I need you to grab that QR code right now with your telephone, with your iPad, laptop, whatever it is. You got to get, gang, this is an emergency at the highest level. Believe me, I don't want to be on here doing this at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. Game plan Thursday. I got a million things to do today. But if I don't do this, no one else is doing it. Okay, first of all. No one else social media is doing this. There's no one else. It's up to us. We the people of the United States of America. We the people of the world. You've got to get involved, gang. I need you all to grab that QR code. This is one of the most important days in the history of fishing in California. You've got to be involved in this meeting. Raise your hand during this Sand Bass Initiative and just tell them. Don't make a big, long speech. Just tell them I don't agree with the science. That's all you need to say. It's not about what you say. It's about how many of us say something. Gang, this is super important. Hello. What? Yeah. I'm on the middle of a show. I'm on the middle of the show. I'm trying to get everybody to rally up to be on this Zoom meeting. It's okay. I love you. Everybody, wake up. Get up. Kick your friends. Call your buddies. Everybody, listen. This meeting's going off in 8 minutes. This meeting is going off in 8 minutes, gang. Kick a friend. Call a ex-girlfriend, your ex-wife, your brother, your sister, your aunt. We all need, I can't emphasize this enough. Share this with everybody. We got 8 minutes to be on this Zoom call right there on the bottom of your screen. You hit the QR code. If you're having trouble figuring out how to do it, you need to figure it out. We are here to help you. Everybody on the messages on the right side of the screen, they're all here to help you get on this Zoom call. I figured it out. It's going full speed. We got 1 million people watching. We got this. I got you. Thank you, though, for calling me. All right, listen. Every single one of you, my phone's going bananas. This is the biggest day in sport fishing in California. But it's a big day for everybody across the world. Gang, they want to close fishing. It's systematically happening. And today we're going to use the word sand bass. Sand bass is the word today. Barred sand bass. At 8:30, we all have to be on this Zoom call. They're going to give you like 4 minutes to raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand in that 4 minutes, you're not going to get to tell them that you don't agree with this. That's all you need to say. They're going to give you 1 minute to talk. Simply say, I don't agree with this. Thank you very much for listening to me. Goodbye. That's it. There, you don't get to ask any questions. Don't use your emotions. Don't call people names. Raise your hand. They're going to explain to you how to raise your hand on the Zoom call. Raise your hand and then just tell them, I don't agree with this. Raise your hand and pay attention, because they're not very clear and they don't give us any time, because the last thing they want you to do is participate. So I'm going to be talking about, we only got a few minutes. We got 5 minutes. You all should be getting that QR code downloaded onto your phone, iPad, laptop, however you're doing this. You grab your telephone. You point your camera at that QR code, and you simply go to the link that's going to come up from the QR code. Boink. You click on it. Boink. It brings that right up on your phone. Okay? 1, 2, 3 lines down in the black. All you have to do is touch that. 3 lines down in the black. It says HTTP US2 web Zoom. Boom. Takes you to that page right there. Enter your name. If you have more than one device, enter your name. Then enter the next device, enter your middle name. The third device, enter your last name. The more the merrier. We need to tell them we don't agree with this. There's been no science. There's no shortage of fish in the ocean, gang. And you're not going to affect them with your fishing pole, Anthony. I don't care how good you think you are. Gang, this is diabolical. They want to close fishing in the state of California. They don't want your grandkids fishing. They don't want you fishing. They don't want your kids fishing. This is going to last forever. Yeah, I'm going to be on here live the whole meeting. This is the most important day in my family's 70-plus year career in sport fishing. This should be a very important thing for you. This is what's going to come up right now on your screen when you click on to go live with the Zoom meeting. Just stand by and be on here. Every device you have in your house, put every single name you've ever thought of. Raise your hand, every single one of you, and just say, I don't agree, period. And if you do agree, then you're not watching me anyway. So you don't matter in the big scheme of things. This is a diabolical way to stop sport fishing in the state of California. And they're using words like sand bass, salmon, abalone, kelp, sea lions, whales. Gang, grab the QR. This is an emergency at the highest level of emergencies. If you are into going outside, you need to be involved. I can't emphasize this enough. Every single one of you need to call a friend. You don't understand how important this is. I don't care if you're going to work, if you're flying in a helicopter, if you're on a jet. You all need to be involved in this today, because tomorrow when you sit down and you go, hey, they just took away sand bass. And you're going to go, yeah, because I was too busy going to the bathroom and I couldn't raise my hand. Shut up. Be on this thing. When they say raise your hand, raise your hand. I'll be here with you, gang. All of my friends and family and members are on the right-hand side leaving comments right now. If you can't figure out how to get on here, any one of these people on the right will help you tremendously. We care. Like you can't even believe, gang. We care because we love fishing. We love being out on the water. We love being involved in this. We love watching people catch fish. We love catching fish. There's no shortage of fish. Turn off the lion media. There's billions of fish. The reason you don't catch any fish is because you don't know how. It's not because there's no fish. These people, there's 5 of them. You're going to get to meet them here in a few minutes. They're making all the decisions. They were appointed. They weren't elected. They were appointed by the governor of California. If you look at these people, they have no right to make a decision on what we do. But they were appointed by the governor, not elected. They're not elected officials. And that's why I guarantee you they have no idea what they're talking about in any way, shape, or form. And you're all going to get to watch how they have no idea what they're talking about. If your screen doesn't show this right now, you're not on the meeting. You need to get on the meeting right now and be ready. This is super important, everybody. This is your children, your grandchildren, your children's children's children. They're taking away the ability to fish in the state of California. Gang, they've been doing it for a very long time, very slowly, very methodically, one little piece at a time. Today, it's a big, humongous piece. The barred sand bass is the fish that created the sport fishing industry in California. I promise you, I know this as a fact. My family's been involved in the sport fishing industry since 1947. The barred sand bass is the link. All the sport boats that you see were built. Here we go. Get on here. We're getting on. The meeting's going to start any second. We all need to be on here. We need to raise our hands. We need to be involved. Gang, this is your big moment to be involved. And believe me, nobody on the planet hates this more than I do. I don't want to be involved. Here we go.
In the meeting?
Here we go. Look, it's we the people. We need to be here because, look, no one showed up. My sister's there, CCA's there, but nobody's. Here we go. This is it. Yeah, and you better get on here now. It's an emergency. Hit that QR code. Forget about the show. Get on your phone. Right, Kelly?
And speakers will be unmuted individually. I want to express my gratitude for everyone who's here today in person, as well as folks who are able to join us remotely. And I'm going to turn it over to Melissa for technical notes. Thank you, President Zavaleta, and good morning, commissioners, staff, and public. If you are participating in the Zoom webinar and calling in by phone, please make sure that your phone number and your Zoom webinar are linked. If you log into Zoom first and use the call me option, the linkage happens automatically. If you are joining by phone only and wish to speak to an agenda item, staff will identify you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. If you are having any technical difficulties with the meeting, please contact it@agpvideo.com. Again, that's it@agpvideo.com.
Gang, I'm going to try to keep this on here as long as I can, but you need to be on the meeting. You don't need to be watching me. You need to be on the meeting. If you can be on the meeting on your iPad and watch me on your phone or vice versa, then great.
Thanks, Melissa. Sherry, could you do roll call, please?
These are the 5 people that make all the decisions of what happens fishing, hunting, walking in California. Anything that has to do with outside, these are the people that are making all those decisions. So if you think it's absolutely crazy, these are the people. They were appointed, they weren't elected.
I want to turn it over next to Melissa to introduce the staff of the California Fishing Commission and leadership from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife who are participating.
Apparently right now you can raise your hand, gang, so you might as well raise your hand.
So today in person, again, I'm Melissa Henson, Executive Director of the California Fishing Commission. I have to my left, your right.
All we want you to do is tell them, I don't agree with this closure of sand bass, and then move on. If you have more to say, go ahead and say it. But remember, keep your comments positive. Do not lose your cool. Do not lose your cool. Keep it together. Write down what you're going to say. Raise your hand right now. Be ready for this. There hasn't been a more important time in sport fishing in California than today. I'm glad I can be here to help everybody get involved, but we need to be involved. Hit the QR code and go get on the meeting. Stop watching me if you can't watch me. And watch. Get off. If you only have your phone, hit the QR code and get on the meeting. If you have your phone and an iPad and a laptop, watch me. Hit the code. Do the deal. Let's get involved.
Director for Law Enforcement Division, Nathaniel Arnold. Sitting next to him is Assistant Chief. Hello. Okay, that's back. Assistant Chief Eric Cord. And then here at the end of the table, we have Dr. Craig Schumann, who's the Regional Manager for the Department's Marine Region. And then online, I believe we also have Deputy Director for the Wildlife and Fisheries Division, who's also the official liaison to the Commission, is Chad Dibble. And
I never ever want you to, bud. I love you. I got this. I just couldn't figure out how to get the Facebook linked in, but I got it all. I was just asking for some help. I know I don't need you to produce shit in the morning. Fridays is the only day I need you. I got this.
Year of operation for the Commission in partnership with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Both of our organizations originated from a board of fish commissioners in 1870. The Commission's goals include preserving our wildlife heritage and conserving our natural resources through informed decision making. And these meetings are vital in achieving those goals.
What are you talking about, Terrell?
The following information to be as effective and efficient.
You're not sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, buddy? Everybody.
Items may be heard in any order.
Hit the QR code right there on the screen. If you can't watch me and be on the meeting, forget about me. I'll be here all the time. I do this live 6 days a week. But I need you all to be over on this Zoom meeting. We all need to raise our hand. And we all need to be ready to tell them we do not agree with these closures. There's no shortage of fish in the ocean of any way, shape, or form. While you're watching this meeting today, you're going to hear some of the most unbelievable, ludicrous things. Yesterday, we got to listen to them tell us how they want to reintroduce the grizzly bear to LA, Los Angeles, California, which would be great for the grizzly bear because they're going to have lots of food there. The homeless people will end up being lunch for the grizzly bear. I don't understand that, but that's what they want to do, reintroduce the grizzly bear to California. Crazy. When you listen to these people, you're going to know what I'm talking about. These people control what you do outside. They control what hikes you get to go on. They control what you get to fish for, what you get to hunt for, where you get to go on your boat, how you get to go on the trails. So you need to listen, pay attention, and raise your hand and tell them you don't agree with this. But if you can't do both, just do one. Be on the meeting, gang. I don't really care if you watch me today. It's okay. And then we're going to do a total recap at noon today, a live recap for about 45 minutes of this meeting. And I want you all to call in and be a part of that recap. But right now, nothing matters more than being on this meeting.
There's the in-person participation. We have a great group of people here with us today. And again, if you want to speak to an agenda item, please complete a card and submit it to staff before the agenda item begins. And that's for those who are on Zoom, webinar, or phone. You will be asked to raise your hand at the beginning of each agenda item. Please listen carefully for that announcement. Raise your hand as the opportunity will be brief. And again, for each item, the Commission will take public comment.
Like I said, raise your hand now. That way you learn how to raise your hand. Pay attention. And be ready when they pick you to unmute. How to unmute your phone.
Taking part in the conversations that we have in this space about all the items where it's essential. And that's true both here in the room and in all of the other spaces where discussion takes place. And I'll look more to say about that later today, but I want to start the day with that reminder. Our goal is to learn from you, for us all to learn from each other as we arrive at decisions.
And don't waste your time telling them your name. Nobody cares. You just go on there, take your 1 minute time they're going to give you, tell them that you don't agree with what's happening, and move on. There's going to be so many people that call in with the Zoom meeting, and they're going to tell you how great they are. We don't care. Don't tell them. You don't need to tell them your name. This is only for tribal representatives and politicians. Don't raise your hand. So put your hands down. This is just for politicians and tribal members.
And which agenda item or items you wish to speak to later today. So please, if you're here in person, we ask elected officials and tribal representatives to join us at the podium and introduce yourselves, but hold any substantive comments until we get to the relevant agenda items. And Sherry, please allow any elected officials or representatives who...
And believe me, any of you knuckleheads that think you need to come on here and share some garbage, you're going to be blocked forever. So I don't know what you think you're going to accomplish, but good luck with that.
So with that, we will move to the next item on our agenda. This is actually the consent calendar. And so I'll start out by making a call for public comment on consent items 19 to 21 today. If you'd like to provide public comment, please raise your hand in Zoom or press *9 on your phone. And the queue will be open for 2 minutes. So it's 8:40. So the queue will be open until 8:42. Please raise your hand no later than 8:42 to comment on any consent items. And just a reminder that items are placed on the consent calendar because they're expected to be routine and non-controversial. And so consent calendar items are generally voted upon without discussion, but the commissioners can choose to remove and discuss an item, including when requested by a member of the public or staff. So again, if you'd like to comment on any of today's consent items, please raise your hand now, and I'll turn it over to Susan Ashcraft, our Marine Advisor, who's the staff lead for these items.
Thank you, President Zavaleta, Commissioners. Good morning. There are 3 items on the consent calendar today. The first item 19 is commercial California halibut and white sea bass set gill nets. This is a technical step that is necessary for this item that required by the Office of Administrative Law to confirm regulations that the Commission previously adopted following a 15-day notice. Item 20 is commercial take of red and other sea urchin and sea cucumber. This is the adoption hearing, adoption of proposed amendments to regulations for the commercial take of red sea urchin and other sea urchin and sea cucumbers. And finally, item 21, commercial harvest of kelp, including sea palm and other aquatic plants. This is also the adoption of proposed amendments to those regulations.
Thanks, Susan. So it is 8:42. I know that we have a presentation for one of these items. Am I right about that? For item 20?
Yes, we have one commenter.
Okay.
Keith Rootsard.
Okay. Good morning, Keith. Before we go to public comment, I just want to ask how many folks have raised their hand or indicated they want to make comment. Sherry?
We have 6 raised hands.
6 raised hands. Okay. Including in the room.
I don't think Mr. Rootsard turned in a card, so he's not showing on our speaker list, but I believe he's the only one who's card.
Okay. Keith, why don't you, normally we take folks in person first. Are you ready to hop on up, or do you want a minute? Okay. All right, so we can go 3 minutes.
All right, gang. You got to listen, pay attention. It's going to be amazing.
Two. You're pre-approved for 2. Okay.
Next slide, please. So back in 2020, I first presented this slide to the Commission to illustrate how our concept of marine protected areas, safeguarding an underwater wilderness has changed into safeguarding an underwater rare. The ocean is getting warmer and warmer, and our model of the ocean doesn't really apply anymore. Next slide, please. This whole slide illustrates how we are just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. As the ocean changes, we are trying in vain to prop up these suffering fisheries like Dungeness crabs, salmon, rockfish, red urchins.
Here you go, gang. Global warming. They're talking global warming. It's absolutely ludicrous. There's no such thing. The ocean's colder right now than it's been in 15 years. It's called cycles. Just trying to help. Reality is a phenomenal thing if you live in a real world. There's no such... The ocean's not hotter than it's been. The ocean's colder right now than it's been in 15 years. Go down to the beach. which these people don't go outside. So
Propped up by federal disaster relief. Next slide, please. The Casper Cove Volunteer Recreational Sea Urchin Experiment prohibited calling red urchins, and this resulted in a red urchin farm, which the red urchin fisheries will harvest in 2029. The volunteer divers are like the workers digging coal into the boilers as the Titanic slipped below the waves.
I'm going to help you guys out with this red urchin thing. These urchins need kelp to survive. When we the people created these MPAs, what we did was we closed down harvesting of this animal, the red sea urchin, which actually helped build the kelp beds along the California coast. So when we shut down the fishery, which we did, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. The animals that eat the kelp, massively overproduced, no harvest of the animal. Now there's no kelp. Now there's no red. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. When you take away their food, they cannot survive. You got to understand, this is not global warming. This is man-made disaster caused by the MPAs. The MPAs are what caused this problem, not us, not global warming. It's all a bunch of baloney. I promise you, I know what I'm talking about.
Our next speaker is identified as Paul's iPad. Go ahead, please.
Commissioners, Paul Wheatland. Do you read me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm kind of disappointed that on your agenda you do not have the public comment first and foremost. You say you operate under the Bagg-Keeley Act, but you obviously are not. You're not being truthful about that, because under the Bagg-Keeley Act, you're supposed to have the public comment first and foremost at every meeting. Secondly, I do support the proposal for the red sea urchin, and I'd also like to reverberate my comments from the last time and the benefits of the sea urchin to our society and community, and that anybody suffering from chemotherapy sickness should really try eating some sea urchins. It helps with the radiation. The naturally occurring iodine is more superior than anything that you can brew up by man. The other thing is, this vote obviously is overwhelming evidence that these marine protected areas do not work. Part of this proposal is opening up an area that has been not allowed to be harvested by urchin divers, and it has become an urchin barrens, readily apparent by everyone, showing a fallacy and a flawed concept and wrong assumptions on the no fishing zones. So with that, I'd just like to repeat that this is overwhelming, conclusive evidence that no fishing zones do not work. Just another one of the things that you don't want to admit or acknowledge with your failed attempts at marine management. And since I do have 25 seconds left, I'd like to also mention that this abalone thing is just bizarre and unbelievable in its fraud with the abalone that you've committed. And I request an audit to find out where all the millions of dollars were spent when you said you were trying to help the abalone. It is just foul and disgusting. And again, that this comment means that the no fishing zones don't work.
Alvaro D. Go ahead, please. Alvaro, you need to unmute. You can hover your mouse over the bottom of your, there you go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I agree with the sea urchin discussion, and that is all I have to say for this topic.
Chris Voss, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, commissioners. My name is Chris Voss, and I'm a president of the Commercial Fishermen of Santa Barbara. And my comment is just on the gillnet regs. And I would encourage the commission and the department to oppose the current legislation that, again, I feel removes some of the authority that this process the MRC and the commission have around this fishery. I'm in support of a capacity goal for the set gillnet fishery, but I don't believe that legislation should be used to iron out the details associated with establishing that capacity goal. And the capacity goal and the details of how that fishery is managed moving forward should be in the hands of the commission and this public process. Thank you for this opportunity.
Gang, what you're listening to, what you're watching this morning is one of the most important meetings in the state of California's history. This has to do with fishing. They want to close all types of fishing in the state of California with no science. And there's a QR code at the bottom of our screen that's going to take you to this meeting you're listening to, and you can make public comment. What I would suggest is to tell them you don't agree with these closures, because they're doing these closures with no science. The 5 people that you see when you go on this meeting, the 5 people you see were appointed. They weren't elected. These people don't know anything about anything. They were appointed by the governor of the state of California. These were people that worked at a grocery store or did payroll for a hockey team or something. They had nothing to do with the ocean, and now all of a sudden they're making all the decisions. So you need to understand what's going on. Get on this Zoom meeting, raise your hand, and say, I don't agree, because these people are going to change what you do outside for the rest of your life.
Roll call, please. Commissioner Sklar? Aye. Vice President Murray? Aye. President Zavaleta? Aye. So the motion passes unanimously. And so we'll move on now to our discussion and action items for today. And our first item on the portion of the agenda is 22. Item 22, recreational crab fishing gear and commercial passenger fishing vessel trap validation. So David is going to do the call for public comment, and then I'll turn it over to Susan to lead us off.
Good morning, President Zavaleta. Thank you. Now's the time to raise your hand if you'd like to speak on item 22, recreational crab fishing gear and commercial passenger fishing vessel trap validation. Please raise your hand no later than 8:54. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand now. If you are participating in person, you should have already turned in your speaker card to the staff table on my left. If you're on the phone only and wish to raise your hand, please press star 9 on your phone once to alert us that you'd like to speak. If you press star 9 on your phone the second time, you'll take yourself out of the queue. When your name is called, you may need to unmute yourself to speak by pressing star 6 on the phone, or use the unmute button on the Zoom app. Once you raise your hand, please do not lower it. Staff will collect your name and lower all the hands at once. Please listen for your name. Please listen carefully for your name to be called. Again, if you're on Zoom and would like to provide comment on item 22, recreational crab gear and commercial passenger fishing vessel trap validation, please raise your hand now no later than 8:54. Thank you.
Great. Okay. So for item 22, this is the notice hearing to consider authorizing
On my podcast, it's live right now, Joey. Go to my Your Saltwater Guide page, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, however you watch it, and the QR code is on the screen.
The topic was vetted at the Marine Resources.
Gang, we're getting close. The next agenda is the one I need everybody involved in. 23. It's the closure of the barred sand bass fishery. I need you all to grab that QR code, get on this meeting, raise your hand. When they give you the 1.3 seconds to raise your hand, make sure you have your hand raised. Know how to unmute. And when they pick you, you just simply touch your screen and it'll show how to unmute. It'll say mute or unmute. You just click unmute and tell them you don't agree with these closures because they've done no science. All you have to say is there's no science. They've done no science. These closures don't make any sense. This is an emotional closure.
So to provide the details of the proposed regulation today, in person we have Christy Uhas, who's a senior environmental scientist with the Marine Region. Good day.
President Zavaleta, fellow commissioners. As mentioned, I'm Christine Haas, Senior Specialist with the Invertebrate Management Program. I'll be discussing the notice for regulation change considerations to recreational crab gear. Next slide. Here's what I'll be covering in today's presentation. I'll first go over the Dungeness crab recreational fishery briefly, then talk about.
They're going to try to tell you right now that these crab traps take down lots of whales, which is totally untrue. They don't. Once in a great while, a whale may get his tail tangled in one of these crab traps. It doesn't happen very often. But you got to remember, the United States of America is the #1 consumer of seafood in the world. So if we're not harvesting our own seafood, we're buying seafood from foreign nations that practice zero sustainability. We are so overregulated. So just remember, when you're listening to this rhetoric, there's a giant slant. They do not want your U.S. fishermen fishing for fish in the United States of America. They want to have foreign countries supply us. The reason being, well, you can only imagine. It's all being exposed right now. But they're not getting kickbacks from our commercial fishermen. That had a giant reason. So just pay attention to what this young lady's saying and just you figure it out for yourself. What number sand bass? It's the next on the agenda. It's 23. So stand by, everybody, and be ready. Hit that QR code, gang. Every single one of you. Call a friend. Wake everybody up. We got moments before it's game on, before we're all going to either have fish to fish for in Southern California or we're going to lose the fishery. If we lose the sand bass, gang, just so you understand, when the sport boats don't go fishing, the bait boats don't go fishing. What I've tried to explain to everybody for the last year. I don't care if you like sand bass or not. You like going to the bait barge and getting your bait. The bait boats can't afford to fish if we don't have sport boats. I know you think you pay them a lot of money, but you don't pay them anything compared to what sport boats pay them. So you got to play the tape all the way through, gang. This matters more than anything. Forget about sand bass. Think about fish. If they take away our barred sand bass, you can pretty much kiss this whole sport fishing operation in California goodbye. We can't let this happen. First of all, there's no shortage of sand bass in California at all. And it's a 1,000% migratory fish. I don't care what these 5 people that have never been outside are trying to tell you. This is a migratory fish. It comes up from Mexico when everything's right. It's a cyclical migration. When things aren't right, water's too warm, too much pollution, they don't show up. Link to the meeting is right at the bottom of the screen. The QR code's right there, DG. It's not that hard. Grab it with your phone or your iPad. Get on the meeting now. We got minutes before it's going to be go time for us. This lady's remember what I say. When you're listening to people tell you about stuff, you'd kind of like to have the people that are out there actually doing the stuff. Does this lady look like she spent a lot of time crabbing? I'm just asking. Everything she's talking about is stuff that she heard from someone who said something about something, and then they said something about something, and then that's what she's sharing right now. She's never been out crabbing. Can't click on the link on the page. I don't know what to tell you. It's right there. Anybody that's watching this, can they help DG figure out how to get on there? I'm doing a live podcast. Go over there and grab the QR code and get on quick. You only got minutes left. Can anybody watching help DG get on this link? Can any of you jump over on my podcast and besides going through the link, tell people how to get on this meeting? We got a few minutes before it's go time for the sand bass. And there's people that can't figure out how to get on. DG, it's a Zoom meeting. Charles is putting up the code for the Zoom meeting. You got to get over there quick. We're running out of time.
Fisheries risk assessment mitigation program or RAMP. Concerns have been raised by the Dungeness Cod Fishing Gear Working Group, the advisory body that provides recommendations to the director during risk assessment, that the recreational program doesn't employ the same triggers or management actions as the commercial program. So the proposed changes will be looking to add an additional management trigger of confirmed entanglements and a subsequent management action of depth restraint to apply these programs together. Next slide.
People are trying to figure out how to get on the meeting without using the QR code. DG Brent, DG right here is trying to look for some help. You know how to get on there. Tell everybody. We got minutes left, gang. When this lady's done talking about imagination, her imagination, what she heard on the telephone one day. When she's done talking about that, we're going sand bassing. Can you put it up on the comments, Brent?
June 11th Fish and Game Commission meeting date, followed by the adoption hearing on August 14th. We'd like to have these regulations in place by or before start.
Gang, I don't need the way to get in. I'm in on everything. I need you guys to go over to my podcast, which is live right now, and tell everybody. Show them. Hi, buddy. Hi. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. That's a good ticket. Just for monkey. Yeah. Oh, look, she was on time today, and she's got her coffee. Samantha, congratulations. We're going to put a star on Samantha for She was on time today, everybody. Everybody, Samantha was on time. How great is that? That Samantha was on time today, you guys. I think we should put a star on Samantha's lunchbox.
On the table for discussion today. We'd like to thank Dr. Schumann, Joanna Grable, and notably Christy Uhas for their ongoing dialogue and diligence, working with the California sports fishermen to craft a regulation that's well constructed and meaningful and has meaningful improvements to protect marine life, while simultaneously offering California anglers and small business opportunity to operate responsibly along the coast of California. Since the implementation of recreational hoop regulations in 2021, the CPFV fleet is pleased to make note of the following: vertical line reduction approaching the 95% level. Part of that's due to our 2-hour servicing interval and reduced gear usage. 0 marine life entanglements, and the virtual elimination of lost or derelict gear. For the most recent year, I could report from 2025, the 2 charter boats that I'm involved in, we lost 0 hoops, returned them all to port. We have accomplished this with significant investment and a mindful effort to shift to fish responsibly. Through a creative approach to rig, fish, and retrieve crab hoops, our fleet essentially reinvented how we fish. This is going to be a big day, Brent. We do, however, ask the Department and Commission if they would be against reconsidering 2 of the following modifications. Extend the length between the primary buoy and optional buoy to 12 feet. The extra length enhances the ability of a fisherman to locate and retrieve gear in heavy current, ocean periods, and adverse weather. This feature is vital to ensure that every hoop that is retrieved is returned to port daily. And just as a note, under the commercial crab fishing regulations right now, currently, as we say here today, there's best practices, but there is no surface line or buoy restrictions. Under the RAMP 2.0, commercial gear would be limited to 36 feet of surface line and up to 3 buoys. So our ask is significantly less than the commercial currently operates under. We would also like you guys to consider modifying the optional buoy marking to include the operator's CPFV number or GO ID number to enhance gear identification. Thank you so much. Additionally, we have concerns about the yellow buoy color. And I can't wait to talk to you about it. If you have any videos at all, we'll play them. The mandate across the charter and private anglers could cause misidentification with other fixed gear fisheries along the West Coast and falsely identify the gear in an entanglement. So yellow is probably the second most popular color. Brent, the only person we can control is ourselves. The fact that we're isolating it to our fishery, we have some. Like I told everybody in February, I was very, very, very touched. We look forward to continuing to work alongside the department staff and improve existing future. The only person I can control is myself, which blend a mix of opportunity and safety to marine life. Thank you.
Okay, gang. It's crucial now. This is it. Hopefully you're logged on. Hopefully you're in on this. We're going sand bass here in a minute. I'm going to log off as soon as the sand bass thing starts, gang. And then I'll see you all at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you have not grabbed the QR code yet, if you are not on this meeting, that's highly disappointing to me because they are going to close fishing in the state of California. And you should all be involved. If you don't like fishing, you should do it for your grandkids, or you should do it for your kids' kids, or your children. your aunts or your uncles or somebody's children. Get on this meeting. I am not going to be on live on here once the sand bass thing starts. I am going to be laser beam focused on what's happening. So I'm just telling you, this was an emergency call for everybody to get involved. I hope you care about fishing. I hope you care about going outside. I hope you care about your state. Because, gang, you have no idea how tragic this is going to be when they take this away from you and you're sitting there in your bedroom sucking your thumb because you're not allowed to go outside. So get involved, gang. It's super important. We're seconds away. If you're watching this, you can see all the lies are being played out here. But you know what they can't do? They can't stop we the people from showing up. So please help your family, help yourself. Forget about me. If you hate me, I don't really care. This is not about me. This is about you. This is about your family. This is about your grandkids. We already lost massive amounts of the state of California for fishing and hiking and having fun. Don't let it keep happening. It's time to wake up, gang. I can't emphasize this enough. I can't emphasize it enough. Please hit that QR code, be in the meeting, raise your hand. Just say, I don't agree. Or if you do and you want California closed down, I can't imagine you do, but if you do agree with what they're saying, go on there and tell them. I hate going outside. I hate people. But just be involved, gang. We the people. Whatever side you're on. I don't understand the other side, but if that's the side you're on, get involved. Be involved. You can't sit and suck your thumb and complain about things that are happening right now because we the people have a big push right now to be involved in this stuff. So let's listen to this lady's lies some more.
Hopefully viewed and then tied to that fishery type. I am working with law enforcement to see if there is an ability.
Yeah, you raise your hand until you're called on, DG. When they call on you, you need to tap your screen again and you're going to see the unmute button. You have to unmute yourself. They can't unmute you. So when you won't see the mute or unmute button until they call on you, and then you simply tap your screen one time and then it'll all come up. And then you just hit the unmute button. And then you don't need to introduce yourself. You don't need to. That part blows my mind. You have 1 minute to speak. Why do you want to tell them who you are? They don't care. They don't care who you are. They don't care. Here it comes. Hit the QR code. We have 39 people that have hit it. I'm stoked this morning. Hopefully all 39 of you show up. That'll be 150 to 200 people watching my show that are going to show up. Oh my God, the guy put Tanner on this morning, Bill Varney. Look, he put Tanner on. Oh my God, Eric put on Tanner. Oh my God, Eric put on Tanner. Look at that. He put Tanner on.
So this moves us to our next item on the agenda. This is item 23.
Okay, I got to go. Bye.